everyone, welcome to Saral English at Sakhar Institute. So today we are going to discuss a topic, job versus business. We are going to discuss similar topics in this new series, and you can call these topics as your debate topics or your group discussion topics. Fine. We usually get these kind of topics in our group discussions or debates. Fine. So in every video of this series, we are going to pick up one topic. Now here I'm not going to discuss the topic like whether job is better than business or business is better than job. We are just going to discuss the difference between job and business. Here we are going to discuss the positive and negative points of both job and business, fine, so that when you use these points for your own advantage, you can pick up only the points which are beneficial for you. Like suppose you want to speak on a topic where the job is better than business, then you can only pick up the points where I have spoken in favor of job and where I have highlighted the drawbacks of running a business. So without wasting any further time, let's start with the topic. Okay. So job or business, fine. Now when we are talking about job, here we are considering both government and private jobs, and you know, like government jobs and private jobs are quite different, fine. And so let's first take the example of a government job. In job, you have to work for limited number of hours. Like mostly the job timings are 9 to 5 in the evening. There is not much stress when you are working. The only stress is during your working hours, and in government job even that much stress is not there, fine. I mean, you will see only the top level people in government sector who are actually under stress. Otherwise the people who are holding the ordinary ranks or who are holding you can say the class 3 class 4 level ranks, they are not much stressed during the working hours. Then job, especially the government job, gives you a job security, fine. Like once you get the job, nobody can throw you out of the job until you commit a grave crime, fine. And in job, you know that you will get a fixed salary every month, so you can plan your budget accordingly. You can use your money economically. You can plan things accordingly. But in business, you may earn a lot of money sometimes, and you may not earn at all, or you may even suffer a loss, right? So business is quite fluctuating. When you go for a job, whether it's a government job or a private job, you need to have a certain degree. You need to have certain qualification before you can apply for a certain job. Fine. There are people who ask for your qualification. But when you plan to start a business, fine, then there's nobody who's going to ask for your qualification, or you don't have to give proof of your degrees and qualification to anybody else, fine, because business can be small or it can be big, fine. So if you're starting a small business, suppose you are having a small shop, or you're having a small tea stall, or you're having a small a small stall of food, fine, then nobody asks your degree. They only you only get recognized for your skill. If you are cooking well, if you are good with your customers and all, you not even earn money, you even earn fame, fine. But mostly in job, you may earn money, but fame is not always there, fine. You may earn it, you may not earn it, because most of the time the fame is taken away by your boss, fine. But in business, your work speaks for itself. If you do a good job, you earn fame. If you don't do a good job, you get thrown out of the market. Very simple. In order to start a business, you need certain kind of investment, or you need certain minimum investment, fine. But when you apply for a job, or when you go for a job, you don't have to invest money in that, fine. But yes, the only thing that they ask for is your qualification. The better the qualification, better are the chances of getting a good job. Then in job, you don't always carry your tensions home. Fine, once you move out of the office, once you come back home, that you don't always carry your tensions home, unless until it's a private job, because private job these days the scenario is quite different, I know. Fine, but especially in government jobs, you are neither too much tensed in your office and you don't carry any tension home. But for a businessman, he is working round the clock. Fine, it's not a 9 to 5 job for a businessman. Fine, his phone starts ringing at 5 in the morning and he's on the call maybe till 12 or even after that. Fine, even if he goes on a holiday, even if he's going out, he's always engaged on phone, he's always talking to his customers or clients, and he's not able to participate fully in his family activities. People from business families can very well relate to all this. But yes, there is a positive point of running your own business. If your business does good, if your business does well, the money is in plenty and you have a lot of scope to expand yourself, to grow yourself. Rather, in case of job, even if you are doing very, very well, fine, you may not get a very high increment or you may not get promoted, fine, in spite of working very hard. Especially in government jobs, like the promotions are time bound. Fine, whether you work very hard or you don't work at all, fine, you will be promoted after a certain period of time. But in business, if you give your heart and soul to your work, if you give your heart and soul to your business, your progress shows and you definitely rise in the market. The kind of exposure a person gets while running a business is much more as compared to doing a job. A person in job has a limited circle, and he cannot he doesn't deal too much with the outside people, he doesn't deal too much with the customers or the clients and all. But a businessman has to deal with all sorts of people. He has to communicate with different with people from different, you can say, the segment of the society. So he gets to learn a lot. Fine, he gets to know a lot, and obviously his knowledge is much more than a working person. Even a small shopkeeper, if you see his knowledge, it may be much more than a clerk, because he is meeting so many people, so he's exchanging his views, he's exchanging his knowledge with so many people. Fine, without moving from his own shop. Fine, he's still getting the knowledge. Then in job, whether the company is running in loss or it's running in business, as long as you're doing a job, you do get your fixed salary. But in business, you may earn too much in a month or a year, and you may not earn at all, or you may run in losses. Fine, if the business is not doing well, and you still have to pay the salary of your employees, because if you don't pay your employees, the employees will not stay with you. They will definitely leave you and go away. And a businessman cannot do without his employees. The bigger the business, the more the number of employees, right? Then to run a business, a person really needs to have very good social skills as well as communication skills. But for doing a job, you just have to be quite skilled in your own field. If you are very skilled in coding, or if you're very skilled in your whatever job, suppose you're an engineer and you are dealing with a particular project where only the knowledge of a particular field is required, you're quite good at it, you will definitely do very well in your job, and you will even be your boss's favorite. But in business, fine, you besides having skill, you definitely need to have skills. Besides having skills, you even need to have very good social as well as communication skills. You would never see a businessman who's quite reserved by nature. Fine, A person in job may be quite reserved by nature. He may be quite, quite an introvert. He may not be speaking too much. But a businessman cannot do business without speaking. Fine. So his tongue is the main tool in running the business.
Now, the best part about doing a business is that it can be passed on from one generation to another. Fine. Like children of a businessman, they don't have to worry much about their career or their future, because they can always carry on their father's business. Like you would see, like mostly the children of businessmen, they are not under too much stress regarding their marks in school or regarding their future plans and all, because even if they are not able to do something on their own, they always have their family business to fall back upon. But in case of job, a person doing job, I mean his kids always have to, they have to work hard for their future, and they are always stressed, both the parents and the children, because the future is not secure. Even if the parents are earning huge amount, kids still have to work something on their own. Their future is not secure unless until they do something on their own. Then one more thing is, like if business keeps on passing from one generation to another, then obviously there is a huge expansion of business. Like we have seen many businesses, like you can say Tata, you can see the Ambanis, the Reliance, you can see Mahindra and all. So when the business keeps on passing from one generation to another, obviously it gains a brand name, it becomes a big name in the market. Even if it's not a very big business, even if you talk about a small business like a person running a shop, fine, if his son takes over, obviously he will use his own ideas, he will use his own potential to expand the shop, fine. Then if his son also carries on with the same business, you would see like the small shop would slowly convert into a big departmental store. It would slowly convert into maybe a mall also. Fine. So what we are trying to say is that if a business runs in a family, then the whole business expands. Obviously the family's life keeps getting better with every generation, fine. And the best part is, like, they don't have to be at the mercy of others, fine. They are their own boss, fine. They can work according to their own will. But if you are in a job, fine, your kids still have to work very, very hard. Even if you are an engineer from IIT, or you're a doctor from AIMS or from a very good college, still your kids have to work hard to build their own future, fine. And one more thing, like we can say, like in business, there is no age of retirement, fine. You can keep on working as long as you want. But in job, whether it's a government job or it's a private job, there is a certain age of retirement, fine. You have to retire after a certain age. Rather, I would say, in case of government job, there is still an advantage that even if you are not keeping well, even if you are, your body is not, supporting you, you still have your job till you turn 60. Fine. And in some cases you still get pension, although this scheme is slowly fading away, fine, but you still get benefits even after retiring from your job. That's what I'm talking about, the government jobs. But if you're working in big companies, fine, like in if you're working for big companies like Reliance, if you're working for big companies like Tata, Mahindra, even they provide you many facilities while you are in the job or even after you retire from the job, fine. The facilities you get, like pension after retirement, fine. When you're in job, you get facilities like HR, TA, DA, fine. But this is only for government jobs and for very high paid private jobs, fine. It's not the case for your small jobs in private sector. Then one more thing you can add is, like in case of business, there is a disadvantage, you can say, like you have to you have to think about your security yourself, like especially in the old age. So you have to keep saving for the old age. Fine, you have to have better plans so that you can have a good life even after you stop working. Fine, which is not the case, especially if you are doing a government job, because government takes care of most of your like needs, like medical facilities. Fine, as I mentioned, HR, TADA, that's while you're working. But otherwise also you get many benefits like pension, you get medical facilities, you even, if your kids are doing well in studies, sometimes they even get scholarships and all. Clear? So there are many points which you can keep on adding to business, you can keep on adding to jobs. Fine? Okay.
Then some more points we can add, like when a working person or a person in job, he goes out on holiday with his friends and family, he's actually enjoying his holidays. He's actually there physically as well as mentally. But a businessman, fine, he may spend lakhs of rupees on his holidays, he may spend too much money on his family members and all, but he is never enjoying. Even on holidays and all, his mind is always occupied with the work. So the family members always miss that part of businessman. Fine, they always feel that he's not there, but sometimes they don't realize that they are enjoying all those luxuries in life just because that one person is working so hard in business. Fine. So here are certain points that I have discussed. Fine. We have discussed both the positive and the negative points of a job and business. Like 1 or 2 points you can even add, like if you are doing a job, you can be thrown out any moment, especially if you're doing a private job. So the job security is not there. Fine. So you are always at the mercy of your job boss, or you're always at the mercy of your owner. Fine, which is not the case in business. Fine, nobody can throw you out. Even if you have to wind up your business, you do it at your own will. Fine, but for a business, like if the business doesn't do well, if a person suffers huge loss, fine, sometimes the person gets totally broken and he gets so demotivated that he doesn't want to start all over again. Fine, because he suffered a huge loss financially and maybe emotionally as well. But if you are thrown out of a job, you always have so many other options in the market, and you can easily get a job somewhere else because you already have good qualification, you already have certain degrees which can help you in finding another job. Fine. So that is the difference, and if you keep on digging, you will find so many differences between job and business. And as I said before, we are not discussing what is better. But when you are getting such a topic in group discussion, or you're getting such a topic in debate competition, you have to definitely speak on one topic. Like suppose you have to speak job is better, then you can pick up the points where I have spoken all in favor of job, and I have spoken the negative points of business. If you are speaking in favor of business, then you can pick up all the positive points of running a business and the negative points of doing a job. Fine. So that's all for today. See you in another video with another topic, and do listen to more and more and more of English. Do follow my videos, do like my videos. Fine. And please share the videos as much as possible, because this way you are actually trying to create an atmosphere around yourself. And when more and more people around you will watch English videos and will watch the videos, you'll obviously have a common platform where you can discuss things with each other. If suppose only you are learning and the friends around you are not learning, then how would you practice? Fine. So for your own good only, you have to share the video as much as possible. Okay, bye-bye. See you in the next class. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bye-bye.